professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring a scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Walking away from the industrial love complex, right? So there are people who are the opposite. Like when people talk about the red pill, in a sense, it's the opposite of like pandering, right? But pandering to women that there's a great man. So they'll say guys are pandering to other guys that you'll never find a good woman. Well, for people who live under that belief, we've said for a very long time, don't speak on something if you don't have the experience in it. And sometimes people are walking away from the industrial love complex because there are people speaking on relationships that obviously have avoided them. So how do you know how this is going to work if by what you're saying or the way you're coming off, you seem not so experienced, you seem inexperienced at these things that you know so much about? So along the way, you watch guys, because I remember, I used to tell my lady about Derrick Jackson being a liar. I'm like, he's full of it. And she couldn't see it. And a lot of times the ladies feel like the guys are full of it. Like, oh, she needs to be a traditional woman. And now you see women just walking away from the industrial love complex because they're like, y'all like IG thoughts who y'all want to be traditional women. Y'all don't like real women, blah, blah, blah. This is just all a game. The women are feminists, the men are red pill. They try to make both of things the same. Like, women feminism, red pill, manosphere is meninism. You know what I'm saying? So where does family fit? And it doesn't. But a lot of times it doesn't fit because people are listening to and looking at people who never wanted family. Not people who went down these roads and they say, okay, you got to watch out for this, and this. Just watch out. You got people who, I'm never doing this, and I'm never doing that, and I'm never doing that. And it subsequently ends up being they never did anything. And they're telling you to never do anything because they're too scared to do something. Like they're too scared to take the first step to try to do something and see if it works or not. Because sometimes people are overly concerned about relationships because I think it's free. Relationships are free. And what I mean by that is a relationship isn't like starting, like there's no starting cost per se. It's the cost of going out on a date, but you can meet somebody, say hello, start a conversation, really free. But if you have goals that are outside of relationships, they're going to take some time, some blood, sweat, and tears, and some hard effort. And relationships don't necessarily, especially when you're starting out, it doesn't take the same amount of effort. It's not going to take blood, sweat, and tears. It's not going to take long days and long nights. That's not what it's going to do. It's like, I like you, I don't like you. I'm in, I'm out. Should I, how can I say this? Should I love you? Should I ghost you? I don't feel like it. It's not the right time. But, and plus the society is kind of moving. I talked about quiet quitting. A lot of people are quiet quitting at the idea of a relationship. But let me get back to the money part. I don't think people are going to be able to afford to be single in America, major metropolitan cities. And I don't think people are going to get tired of being a roommate with the same sex. Just saying. Just saying. But I think people are walking away because the other thing is people look at it like people are making relationship content because it makes money. It's the easiest thing you could talk about per se to make money. Like back in the day, we used to. I remember being on YouTube. Twerk videos used to just blow up overnight, and then ladies would do the makeup tutorials, blow up overnight. The political aspect, the conservative thing blew up overnight. Then people were gay, blew up overnight. And now it's the relationship thing, because the relationship thing was pretty much a shadow banned section. And now you're seeing people just come in and basically watch people's content that's been up for darn near a decade, or wind up parroting something somebody else said. They came from a person that had put out material a decade, 15 years ago, and it's just blowing up overnight. So I think people are not sometimes taking people's perspective as their real. It's like, you just saying that because all y'all say the same thing and sound the same way, talking the same tone. Because basically, sometimes what you're getting is newscasters who just sound the same. And they're saying the same thing, sounding the same, and it's just which way you gonna go. And now you got to ask the question. People are walking away because they don't think it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not real. It's like, okay. And sometimes I say this about the relationship thing. Sometimes people are walking away because what they're hearing is ahead of the curve. And they're like, that's not, once again, that's not real. But then it happens later and they go, oh, I didn't think that was real. So sometimes people walk away because they hear something that's like, that don't happen. And it does. But they're not, it didn't happen to them yet. So, because a lot of times people aren't forward thinking. But that's my thought on this. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been to the top of the universe? I'm gonna say it to you.